Hi guys, it's Darren here from deepblueapps.com. We've got a brand new tutorial here. This is going to teach you how to make a game where you can move the arrow around using the arrow keys left and right, and then you can actually fire an object. Now the ball will go out the scene to the left, right or above, and then it will reset itself back to the position. So it's a recycled ball, and when it gets back it'll actually choose a random colour. Now we've got red, green, blue and yellow, and you can see the ball is changing colour when it resets, and you can only fire when the actual ball is back in its spot. There's that, and it's pretty neat. I'm just going to show you how we did this in a second. Let's just have a look then. Go back, we've got two game attributes. We've got a fire counter, which is an integer, or an integer, as some people call them. We've got a fire angle, which is a real attribute. Now they're both game attributes. We'll go into the arrow in a second. Now notice that the sprites here, first of all, are just a black outline, with just filled in white with a black outline. Now that's important because we wanted to actually change the ball colour using code. So let's first go into the arrow, and we'll see here we're constraining the game fire angle to self-rotation. So no matter where that's rotated, the game fire angle will always be in the right place, and the fire angle is just used for the ball's direction, which we'll get to in a moment. We've just got some simple keyboard controls next. We've got if key left arrow is down and self-rotation is less than 45, then we'll rotate counterclockwise. And if right keyboard arrow down and self-rotation is greater than -45, then we'll rotate back clockwise. And that just limits the 45 here and the -45 here, just limits the amount we're allowed to rotate the arrow, because I didn't want it rotating all the way around. And then if keyboard space is down, space bar is down, then game fire equals 1. So we're just changing that game attribute to 1. Now going back in the ball, we'll just change its colour there from that to that. And we've got some self attributes in here. We've got a direction, and we've got start X, start Y and a choose colour. Now when the ball goes out the side of the scene or above, we want it to change back to its starting position. So we've got a start X and Y integer there, and basically we're just changing right off the bat the self start X to its self position X, because we want to change that back to its starting position. So we've got two attributes there. Now when game fire counter equals 1, we've got change self direction to game fire angle, and then we're moving in the self direction. We've got a +90 on the end there because the angle of this arrow, because I imported it facing up, I've had to add a +90 on the end. A little tip: if you are importing artwork that's going to be rotated, it's always best to have it facing right, and then you won't have to mess around adding numbers on the end too much. Now the reason we've got a self-direction, we're changing the fire angle to a self-direction and then moving in the self-direction, is, let me quickly show you. If we don't do this, I'll just quickly turn that one off. We'll edit this rule here. We'll change the self-direction to the game fire angle. Now if we don't have that self attribute, notice what happens when we fire and rotate the arrow. You see the ball there, just move my mouse out of the way. You see the ball there will actually carry on moving in the direction that the arrow is facing. So you've got sort of a squiggly effect going on there with the ball. I mean, you may want that in your game, that's fine. But for this demonstration, I didn't want the ball to move. I just wanted it to fire in a straight line. So you can see the ball moving there when I move the arrow. So anyway, back to the game. So we'll just delete that one there, and we'll turn that one back on. Moving down, we've got this rule here. Just tells us when the ball goes out of the scene to the left, the right or above. And we've got any on, so obviously default is all, so just change that to any. And then if X position is -20, less than -20, that's to the left. Or if X position is greater than 340, which is to the right. Or if game position Y is bigger than 500, which is above. Then we're just changing the game fire counter to 0. We're changing the position back to the start position, and then we're choosing a colour. Now it's a self-choose colour, we've just got an integer there, choose colour, and we're making it random 1 to 4. So basically it's going to pick a number from 1 to 4. Now the next rule down, just using the RGB values there, the red, green, blue values, we're actually changing the colour. So if self-choose colour equals 1, we're changing it to red. Self choose colour equals 2, changing it to a blue, and so on for the green and the yellow. Now if you notice under here with the colour, if you drop this tab down here, you've got the RGB values there, and if you press on the actual colour there, you notice these numbers changing with the different colours we're picking, and that's all we're doing. We're just picking a colour and copying the RGB values down there. And that's basically it, guys, really. Hope you have fun, hope you learn something from it. Pretty nice little template, and once again, thanks for the support over at deepblueapps.com. I hope you have fun making it, and hope you find it useful, and more importantly, I hope some people learn something from it. And have fun making your games, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.